All right, so to answer a couple of those questions, we'll
We gotta
first.
scroll up.
We gotta scroll up.
Do we miss some?
Yeah, there was a lot.
There was a lot.
So let's read off a couple of these and then go.
Well, I know he's saying all that.
Or discussions. Let's see.
Right there is about where the last thing I saw.
I think Adamasaur mentioned that that consoles have worse games than PC, and that's really just subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can say that, but at the same time, you're not going like, oh, just because you value a genre more than someone else doesn't necessarily make it a better or worse game,
Yeah.
right? Because I
Right.
could say the same thing. I could be like, hey, Bloodborne's on PS4.
Well, I think the argument's fair that console just can't hold up to PC
no, that's
for
true.
the power and for the graphics and the frames per second, yada yada,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera. Console offers something that more people play, so for a multiplayer aspect, for one it offers more people that can play it with you.
Mm.
Two, it offers a leveler playing field, because not everybody has different hardware and everything's the same.
Yeah.
So it's kind of baseline across the board, which is nice going into a game and knowing that nobody has a special one up on you,
And
except for those Xbox players that get that stupid controller that's coming out.
What?
Sorry,
Oh,
should've
the
called it
Elite
stupid,
controller?
but
Yeah.
it's just kind of like when they put that out there, it's kind of like now it's getting into buy to win or buy to win kind of thing.
And you have
But-
to understand that consoles are never going to go away. They're always going to be there because they're, especially nowadays, they're incredibly easy to develop because they're similar.
yeah.
I mean, the biggest example is if you look at Batman. It did terrible on PC because guess what? There's more factors you have to worry about, right? Different graphics cards, different operating systems.
Right.
Meanwhile, you're looking at a console where you can go, oh, which more people have than a gaming like rig setup, and it's so much easier.
Adamasaur, there is one. The Xbox is actually releasing it with the console. It's this like $120.
It's the Elite, right?
Elite.
Yeah,
It's coming out. So I'm a little bit skeptical with that.
the D-pad looks a little weird.
I have a
It's replaceable.
question
It's fucking stupid.
as far as games available on PC. What game is out on PC that's not available on consoles?
There's a lot.
Tons.
That is a console seller, is a PC seller.
Platform seller.
Yeah.
I would say Pillars of Eternity was very,
Which-
very good.
is a good game, but not graphically extensive.
Not graphically extensive.
So it's not. It's more so that
How about go mainstream? Give a mainstream one. Like, okay, if you think console seller,
Half-Life. Well, Half-Life 2 that was forever ago. But
that was a minute ago. Yeah,
that
one-
wasn't
one
available on
came to-
Xbox?
It came to Xbox
It did.
way late.
yeah, and PC, right? Yeah, it was on PC as under the orange box.
Yeah, and then it came to Xbox. I think like way later.
Or PlayStation, I meant PlayStation orange box.
What they're trying to he hates indie games, so I'm trying to
Yeah.
give him some big games.
I mean,
that
you
come
can
out.
go MMOs like crazy, right? You can do World of Warcraft. You can do
Yeah.
the Old Republic. You could do freaking
Mhm.
a number of things. Rift, Terra, whatever. But go for a single player experience. If we're saying something like that, Amnesia, right?
Okay.
That's one. You could say, shit. Can't say Skyrim. I mean, technically, you can say Skyrim for modern
No.
support.
Adamasaur, my question is, what video game would sell me
Ark?
on PC? That would make me want to buy a PC because
Some people might
it's
say
the best
DayZ.
game.
That
Yeah.
whole concept of the survival aspect of it is really popular. A lot of people like it. For the longest, Minecraft,
Yeah.
before it was on consoles,
Yeah.
Minecraft, Team Fortress 2, but it's on Orange Box. So
But they got the community still going on the PC.
yeah,
I'm sure
community is way more popular on PC.
Skylines, yeah. Skylines looks like a lot of fun. I actually really want to get. I have that on my waiting list in case it goes on sale. That one looks really
Do
fantastic.
they notify you? They'll tell you?
Yeah, they'll tell you.
Sweet. Okay. I've got like 2, so I'm like...
And yeah, I mean, there's not. I mean, if you were only looking for like major games, then yeah, it's pretty limited. But once you bring emulation into it, it makes me a happy camper.
yeah, emulation, even freaking... The indie market is infinitely
And I
larger.
love smaller games, so
Yeah.
I'm all for that. But,
Yeah.
But
So-
then you take the regular games that go on both, and it just blows them out of the water.
Like Batman,
That's a big problem.
Assassin's Creed.
Well, that was bad on
Assassin's
all of
Creed is
them.
bad on everything.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was more extensively bad. Was it? What was
Hey,
the
my
other one?
My wonderful review.
What was the other one that just recently? Was it Mad Max on PC?
What?
Didn't work.
Well, that's Warner Brothers, by the way.
Oh, Warner
That's a Warner
Brothers.
Brothers
Oh, God.
There's been a couple games that came out on PC that just
I think Street
Ate
Fighter
shit.
didn't do...
But The Witcher
Street Fighter had
3
the worst
Witcher 3
netcode
killed
for a
it.
while.
Witcher 3
Metal
was
Gear?
amazing.
Metal Gear was great.
Solid was
Metal,
great.
Metal Gear treated everyone as equals. There was no apartheid.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess-
sorry, you're totally right. Because the PC just once you realize the fact that it's a PC and not a console trying to be a PC, PC just destroys it.
To be perfectly honest with you, it's that thing, and we talked about this when your dad was here. It shouldn't matter what you play it on. You should just be wanting to play the game. You know, a lot of people have this mentality of like, oh, I love Xbox. You know, fuck Sony. It's like, why? Why? Because you can have it all, like if you want, and then say like, because I have a PC.
Well, but let's hold on though. Just careful with that because you say you can have it all, but not everybody's as blessed as you know.
no,
we
I'm
are,
not.
so
I'm saying
they can
from a
pick-
normal standpoint. I'm not saying like
That's not. Wait, is that on PS4 at all? H1Z1?
H1Z1. No, it's
No,
not.
it's just on PC.
There's some weird zombie game coming in. That was supposed to be like last year.
No.
Anyway,
I'm kind of.
what?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Just to put it simply, I'm not speaking economically or whatever like that. All these people are vying for your attention. It's like we're all guys here, right? It's a bunch of girls coming up to you and going, "Oh, I want you, I want you, I want you." Okay? Why don't you just appreciate the fact that all these people want something from you instead of going like, "Oh, I'm only going to go with her because she's cool." Like, no, fuck it. Play the field. They're playing you. Play them back. The community. What?
I love this analogy.
They're-
this is
Skeet, skeet. Skeet, skeet
They're-
there.
At the end of the day, corporations, all that stuff, they're playing you because they're going, hey, we're going to offer a game, but we're also going to offer DLC down the line, right? They're playing you. Fine. You can play them back, not by pirating, not by doing any of that stuff, right? I mean, if you want to. Regardless, you can.
I've never played Mother 3. That game's probably good.
It might be game of the year. But play them back. Don't try and get like elitist about like, oh, PC does this or that or whatever better.
Yeah.
Oh, you have all these options. You can make it whatever you want. There's no need to be like reserved to one side, all right? These guys didn't pay for your education. They didn't pay for your tuition. They didn't raise you. Do what you
No.
want, man.
And I'm honestly like, as far as PC goes, it is the more expensive one to game on, for sure.
Definitely fulfilling,
Yeah.
but more
There,
expensive.
and if you're, from what I'm hearing from this, is that if you're into the indie market, PC is where you have to be.
Yeah.
It is the number one home for indie. And as far as these other games that pop up and stuff, graphically, none of the ones that you guys have listed have been,
But why is graphically the only...
because it's so powerful. That's what the argument is, right?
the only thing I care about at the end of the day is performance.
Not just graphics, but sometimes interface is the same problem. Like a mouse and keyboard type of game. Like
So you mean like playing Transistor on a mouse would be better than playing it on-
potentially for all first-person shooters are better with a mouse.
No,
and keyboard.
Transistor.
No, but I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like beyond that, like that is arguable, but from a first-person shooter perspective, they're all better on
A strategy
mouse and
game.
keyboard.
Strategy game.
For strategy games like
Mouse.
like Warcraft 3 and all that kind of
You
stuff.
never
For
wanna-
Pillars of Eternity, a controller just doesn't work.
you play utilizing a controller on something usually that's more fast paced. So you don't play Devil May Cry on a keyboard.
Right.
That's fucking nuts.
Those kind of games are tailored towards that, but when you get to certain other games, like that's why a PC is better. And the cool, and I know you can get a mouse and keyboard for PS4 and all that kind of stuff, but these games are like built for the PC, and that's why they don't release them for the PS4. Because how many people on a PS4 have a mouse and keyboard? I sure don't.
Well, if you have a mouse and keyboard on a PC, you have it on a PS4.
They don't
And
build them for it,
any single one would work.
but they don't build them for it. I will say that they're doing a D&D game. It came out 2 years ago, I think, for the PS4. I can't remember the name is, but they're coming out with that, and I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone.
I don't know how well it works on Xbox One either, but I know for PS4 it's super. Like you could play Final Fantasy
Yeah.
off your PS4 utilizing a mouse and keyboard, and it works like a charm. And it knows, and it switches like that. So
Yeah.
it all depends on the support that they provide. But absolutely, certain genres you need, or there's a clear advantage on certain genres. I tried for the longest to get Battlefield to work with the mouse and keyboard on my PS4 because I'd be killing the game.
Yeah.
Doesn't work,
Yeah.
as far as I know.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 14, an MMO. Mouse and key. I grew up on using keyboard and mouse playing MMOs. I then moved over to the Naga, which then made the keyboard almost useless, and just needed the mouse. And then I picked up Final Fantasy 14 and grabbed a controller to play an MMO, and it was very much so like an action RPG, at that point.
I could not do it personally.
It took me a
took
little
me a
while
minute.
because I already had memorized where everything was on the keyboard.
Yeah.
So having to rememorize where my new 12, 20 moves were did take some time, but it basically was just an action RPG at that point, combo systems and stuff. So it's I understand that there's an advantage competitively, but as far as like just enjoying a game and playing a game, I don't think controls matter all that much if I'm just trying to enjoy a game and play.
It should be preference.
Exactly, a preference, because I could play either or, controller or keyboard and mouse on Final Fantasy XIV, and it doesn't really improve my damage or anything. Once I got good at both of them, it was the same deal. So going back to my point about the why would I want to game on a PC over a console, and it comes down to library, is from what I can hear. And the library is
Some of it, yeah.
mainly indie. Because otherwise the consoles, most of those games that I can think of are available on console and PC.
It's the bigger market.
Mm-hmm.
Console is always.
But they also
the
run
bigger
better
market.
on the PC.
They run better on PC, but from a developer standpoint, if you compare what you're developing for, if you're developing on a PC vice a console, something that you're used to, Old Faithful over here, right?
Mhm.
And then you have some shit. Do they have an Nvidia? You know, and then within that you have to deal with making them equal, which oftentimes the console will fuck up. Innovation in that regard, making a game look really beautiful, can run way better on PC, but.
One of the things that always bugs me so much is the argument between that PC. You said, "Oh, it runs better on PC." I don't really. That depends on how much money you're willing to put into your PC, because I will tell you that if you're trying to build a budget computer, you're going to be able to pick up a PS4 or an Xbox One cheaper than you would be able to build a PC that can do the same work. The graphics cards alone are $300. Then you have to make sure you have a motherboard, RAM, keyboard, mouse, monitor, processor, all of that stuff available to hit that certain mark, to where a $400 flat price is getting you into that.
Right, but that gets into a price comparison.
Yeah.
Which is a different story.
It is.
I'm talking like optimal settings.
Optimal
PC
setting,
is-
that's fine, but 60 FPS, where I was going with this is that it doesn't matter all that much. As much as people look at specs and cry about it, specs don't make a game fun.
They do at times.
What?
Poor specs define a game, but 30 FPS, as long as I'm getting 24, 30 FPS or more, I don't really, as long as the resolution's in the right aspect ratio, I don't really need it to be 60 FPS or 120 FPS.
Sounds like a made-up game.
Some games do
Fargo.
a lot better at 60 FPS.
Well, here's the thing: some do.
I have
and
not
some
seen
don't.
one.
We've argued this before.
League of Legends.
We've talked about how if you're
What?
going for a cinema,
I've played at 20 frames and been fine.
If you play at 60, you don't want to go back.
Right,
Hell,
but
I played
but it doesn't
144.
take away, like, it's not. It
does.
doesn't make the game crap.
It
It
makes
doesn't-
it less though.
It doesn't make me take the gamer score from 10 to 2.
It would make it go down a notch for me. It legit does. It matters in certain games when very specific
You're not
click
gonna-
heavy happens.
you're not getting picked up to a.
Yeah, when very specific click heavy stuff happens, you do need that kind of heavy frame per second. It does matter.
I've never run into a game that my PCs have hindered me on. I rated in Wrath of the Lich King at 20 frames per second and fully enjoyed the game.
I'm just saying they can run better at 60.
Well, the thing that we talked about before was certain games don't need it.
Yeah, certain games don't need it. Like
At
a
all.
very cinematic game doesn't need it.
Certain games require it. Certain games don't. If you look at, I believe Uncharted was 60. Could have sworn it was. Was it? Oh, yeah. Shit.
Barely. I played 3 a little bit.
Okay.
I'm waiting for that.
The collection.
Yeah, I'll see if I can even have time to fit it in.
I'm definitely good, so run through it. But regardless, games that are And this is no offense to like League of Legends, whatever the case is. I'm used to very reaction-based games.
Yeah.
So if I'm playing Street Fighter, it needs to be 60 frames. Not only for my sake, but Capcom knows about the theory crafting
Right.
of frame data
because they have a certain amount of frames per move.
per move. So it's
So everybody
easy-
has to be at 60 frames per second to calculate the moves correctly.
Exactly. And if you look at a game that maybe has a slowdown, that will affect it, but it's not required for everything. Bloodborne, Dark Souls, there's a Dark Souls mod on the PC version that runs it at 60 frames, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's fucking amazing, it looks great. Really subtracts from the game. The game's not supposed to be a frameless mess, granted,
Yeah.
but it does affect the game differently just because it's presented a little bit differently. If you watch a movie, was it 27, 24 frames? Locked, right?
24.
Locked, and then you go to like a true motion TV.
Looks
You
like
just
shit.
want to fucking throw up. You're like, this is a soap opera. God damn, you
Yeah,
know.
turn
It
that off.
For certain things, it applies. It helps. It's beneficial, whatever the case is. But my point is, I don't think it affects the experience so long as the frame rate caters to it. So, and hear me out. If you're playing a fighting game and it's running at 60 frames, that's fine. Drops down to 30, it's affecting the gameplay at that point now. So it is a problem. But games, you have to look at the developer's original idea. Do I want this to run at 60 frames? Like Metal Gear, has that really dipped for you?
No.
Right?
It was solid.
Because that's the purpose, right?
Are you
Oh,
playing
solid?
on PC or
PS4.
PS4?
So,
How do you even tell on the PS4 when frames dip? Like, do you
Oh,
have a number?
you play,
Do you
you
do
play
you
Mad
have
Max.
do you have a number tracker, or do you
No.
just, or is it
I can
just
just
obvious?
look.
yeah, it's
You
a
can
lot
see.
of like, if you're used to dealing with 60 frames or whatever the case is, and you'll notice a dip. Maybe you won't notice like 5 or 6
Yeah,
frames.
you'll be like, that was 5 frames lower. There are very technical people who can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I don't
I
care
can't
about
tell
them.
that. But I can tell the big dips.
Yeah,
like
when
you
you-
drop from 60 to 30.
Yeah.
like I'm like,
Yeah, it's noticeable,
You're
but
like, shit.
Adamosaur in the chat mentioned as long as it's stable and it's consistent frames,
Yeah.
that's when I don't care.
Because then you get into the concept of like essentially min-maxing at this point. People are like, oh, hey, it's got to be 60 frames. It's got to be this resolution. You don't really need that. You just need what the developer is actually going for and how
Yeah.
they want to market their game. Because certain games can only look so good. And sometimes, oftentimes, they are handicapped by the consoles, right? You don't want to have a console look, A console can only look so good. PC can look better, sure. It's an absolute fact. But at the same time, if the developer is making it to look like the console, your PC's not going to look much better.
right.
It's just the way it is. It's unfortunate, but it's the way it is.
Yeah.
But
You can overclock it, sure, and push a few extra frames and yada yada, but it's not going to make that much of a difference.
Yeah.
You're wasting your
The
time.
point is to hit like a stable frame per second.
yeah,
Yes.
and
So
so
just to like shoot yourself forward doesn't really do you a lot of good.
yeah, keep it within the artistic like vision or whatever, however they want it to look. Don't try and
Yeah.
like that's why the Dark Souls mod is just like looks fucking disgusting.
I think Adamosaur likes Steam as much as I do. Steam is fantastic. Steam does everything right. PS4 and Xbox One, the Microsoft and Sony should just follow Steam's model entirely.
Eh,
They freaking have it down.
I don't think Steam's not without its faults. They fucked up plenty of times. We've talked about it a couple times too.
2-day return policy, or 2
2
week return 2-week return policy, or 2 hour return policy
Yeah.
is amazing.
What was the thing that they fucked up on? We just got done talking about.
The paying for mods.
yeah, paying for
But they went back on it.
yeah,
so.
whatever. So
Yeah.
I mean, no one's perfect, sure, but
Yeah, Evolve was not very amazing.
don't call it next gen, Adamosaur. We're not next gen.
Nah,
Well,
Next gen
current
is
gen.
PS5 and Xbox 2. you know.
Star Wars Battlefront.
Xbox 0.
I'm a little bit
Gotta
concerned
go backwards.
for that game. As
Xbox
excited,
-1.
as excited I am for Star Wars Battlefront, and I am excited for it, I am worried.
Yeah.
It's
It's
a couple things.
yeah, I mean
Very short production time.
no freaking dedicated servers.
That pisses me off.
It's a
Like,
big problem.
what are we in, like 2005?
What are we primates?
The flops of Evolve and Destiny.
Okay,
Destiny is
Adamosaur.
not a flop. Evolve is a flop. Destiny is the most successful thing like ever.
Yeah, that's why it's considered game of the year.
That's why I consider
Sony
it.
and Microsoft call it next gen because it's literally the same thing as calling something AAA.
It's like calling something $49.99 instead of $50.
Exactly. You're trying to make it sound good, but at the end of the day, come on, we all know what it is, right? I get it. You can say, I think it's, 8th gen. Just call it current gen. 8th gen, current gen, whatever.
Mhm.
You don't need to call it, like, next gen. We get what you're saying. We all
Next
own
gen
this
is
console.
Nintendo NX.
Maybe. I mean,
That'll
they're
be it.
they're off the beaten
That is
path
next
now.
generation for Nintendo.
I don't even know what the fuck to consider this thing.
So that's
you know,
Wii U is a
it started
mystery
with
of time
the
and space.
yeah. It's like 8.5 gen. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
weird.
it's the thing most people didn't realize was out. Just floating around.
It's
there.
here.
Yeah.
see that's the thing though. It's the current generation. It's their current model.
It's the one that's currently readily available.
Yeah. And so if you want to say next gen, you can't reference
The Ste-
PS4.
The Steam machine is kind of
Well, here's the thing though: is that's third party, so I don't blame them for it.
Yeah.
Valve releases stuff, and then people make stuff out of it. I think Steam might have, or Valve might have a hand on that controller, and yeah, it doesn't look very good. But I mean, you can always use an Xbox 360 controller.
you could yeah.
That's what I use, baby.
Keep it casual, man. Go back to the basics because honestly, looking at that controller, I don't even know what their whole point is with the console itself. I don't think it's going to sell well unless they put something people want on top of it.
Yeah, that's like
Where's your-
Alienware trying to do some console stuff with their stuff.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah?
whatever.
Like
Yeah, I was actually excited about that. It was the first third party console that I had heard of. It was $100. I watched the full like how they developed it and all that stuff, and I thought it was all cool. And then I looked at the games they were creating for it, and I was like, oh,
we're
I don't give a crap.
regressing because then we're going back to our Jaguar days and our
Yeah,
Commodores and
Yeah.
so shittily. I've never heard that word.
Shittily. Quoted by Adamasaur.
Yeah, shittily.
So there was a question way up here,
Whoa.
and there's two questions I wanted to hit. One of them's silly, one of them's not, but let me scroll up.
Shittily. Oh, say shittily. Let's see. Okay, I know this isn't related.
So Cool Jan says, I know this isn't related to Destiny, but I just want to hear your guys' opinion because I've asked a couple streamers and the answers have been really mixed. Would you rather be Grimlock from Transformers or Godzilla? I don't know who Grimlock. I don't know Transformers at all.
Really?
Yeah, I never watched it as a kid.
He's
I've seen like one of the movies.
He's
and
like
it
the
was
T-Rex.
terrible.
He's
Oh,
like
he's
a
a-
legendary. Yeah.
He was like a robot T-Rex.
Yeah.
Okay. I would rather be the robot because he would destroy an animal.
But,
Like,
but then again, look at
are we then
Godzilla's win
Are we
streak.
then fighting? If you're still on the stream, Cool Jan, because it's from a while ago. But are we fighting?
Are we doing battle? I'd go with Grimlock too. Eric, Godzilla. Or Grimlock?
I don't know.
Godzilla.
Can't knock a classic.
Yeah.
Freaking Mega Blast and shit.
And then Adamasaur a long time ago asked, "Game of the year." By game of the year, do you mean the biggest budget of the year? And then he put some "ooh damn" faces on it.
Yeah, that's. I think that's Gutex actually. I could be wrong.
See, and the funny thing about the budget for Destiny is that the budget they had was for
no, Red Bull.
yeah, it's Red Bull, Destiny Red Bull.
Oh, gives you wings and experience.
Destiny was planned as a franchise. So they went in, the budget that they had, they created content for the entire franchise. So it wasn't, the entire budget was not spent on that one game alone.
No.
It was spent for the DLCs. It was spent for year 2, year 3. There's a
Potential.
whole, what was it, 10-year plan for every...
Destiny, yeah.
There's going to be, technically Taken King is Destiny 1.5.
Yeah.
It's not Destiny 2. Destiny 2 comes out next September.
And Destiny
Every
2
year-
better have more fucking classes.
Yeah, every year they're
Tell that
releasing one game. They're releasing a game. That's why this year's was $40 to go from Destiny 1 to Destiny 1.5. It was $40, not $60.
I blame Street Fighter for doing that.
Yeah,
Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2. Come on.
yeah.
It's the same
Everyone
fucking
loves
game.
it.
So the budget, I will say, it's because it's spread out across all the years, and I will guarantee you that they have made gameplay footage and game content that they haven't released yet. That's just sitting there waiting for year 2 or year 3.
If you want to talk about the biggest budget, I would still say Tor. Just because.
No, I think it's Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Well, I mean, yeah, it was.
250 million, I
'Cause
believe.
Tor burned through their
For
fucking
one
thing.
game.
Yeah. And Grand Theft Auto was in production for a hot fucking minute.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right.
One thing, so when I talk about the game of the year, I think people get
be
mistaken
right.
on what I mean.
You don't mean quality.
I don't necessarily. I mean, quality is a part of it.
Yeah, sure.
Quality is a part of it. I think there are other things to factor in when you talk about game of the year, though. Game of the year has to be quality, success, impact, all that stuff. All those three things I think
Yeah.
are big.
It's got to have like a weird mainstream success.
Yeah, because you can have a game of the year. You can have a game come out that is fantastic. Like Bayonetta 2 is a prime example of what I use. Is apparently quality's off the charts.
Yeah.
The game is fun. People like it.
Yeah.
How many people bought it?
Here's your answer.
So I understand where people are like, well, so do you want my favorite game of the year,
Yeah.
or do you want the game of the year?
Yeah.
Because those are two different things to me. If you want my favorite game of the year, hell no, Destiny's not it. I played that for like 3 or 4, 5, maybe 6 hours or something, and stopped playing it. It's
Yeah.
not my favorite game of the year, hell no. But it's not my style either. So does it matter how much to spend on advertising? If it's successful and people are still playing it today,
It doesn't matter, yeah.
that doesn't matter.
Metal Gear Solid's everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm not... What?
Eric's talking about RuneScape. He's drunk. So
It's not Red Bull. We lied.
So when a game comes out in 2014 called Destiny that says we want to make a franchise that lasts for a long time,
Yeah.
we want to make a game that people will keep playing and potentially keep buying into,
Mhm.
I don't see anybody playing any other game from last year.
Yeah.
Who's playing? People are still playing the Dragon Age ones from last year, like the newest stuff. But nobody's putting the hours that they're putting into Destiny.
Yeah.
Destiny's got people like Eric.
You don't even know why you're playing it,
Yeah.
but you're playing it.
Yeah.
Okay, I will argue with you. Okay, Bloodborne. I've already beaten the game, like 3, 4 times at this point? I'm just playing different builds. It's still fun. I don't know why I'm playing it, but I'm still playing it.
And Adamosaur, I love that you put this. So Dragon Age, Shadow of Mordor, Dark Souls 2, and Super Smash Bros. Even. I think all those are better games than Destiny, in my personal opinion.
Maybe not Dragon Age. I'm
Well,
getting humbled.
You're right. Dragon Age, I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah.
But I can see people liking it. But my point is, how do you say that those games were better games if they didn't sell nearly the same amount, and they don't have people still playing them?
Well, it's not just about sales. Let's keep that in mind.
I know. I'm saying the whole broad spectrum.
Yeah.
People are still playing Destiny, and you can say, "Oh, it's not as good. It's not the game of the year." But is game of the year your favorite game of the year, or is it the game of the year? When I look at 2014, you think I'm going to be thinking, "Oh, that was the year that Shadow of Mordor came out"?
Yeah.
No, that
Great
was your
game.
That was your Destiny came out, tore it up, good or bad, whatever, tore it up, changed what we look at as how games should be in the next gen or current gen or whatever. And people are still playing it today. People are still talking about it. That's the game of the year. I can't see any other game that made such an impact.
I mean, and wait, hold on. Adam, you mentioned World of Warcraft or Diablo 3. Diablo 3 wasn't released the same year as, or World of Warcraft, released the same year. If we're talking game of the year, those guys don't count. When we're referring to last year, we're not talking like this year.
I guess I put including expansions, which I don't think it had one, but but if you want to get into that,
didn't Diablo did?
but I'm saying if you're including expansions, I guess you could consider that in the running for game of the year.
It's so hard to
It's-
argue that
Yeah, it's tough.
because it's like, well, it's still a base game. You're building off of something.
Titanfall and Evolve. Oh,
Oh,
my
God.
god. Mario Kart 8 was great. And again,
I felt like
you
it died a little
Here's the
early.
thing: Mario Kart 8. I could argue Mario Kart 8, even Super Smash Bros. As being games of the year because they're console sellers. Granted, you could say that they didn't necessarily sell as well as a lot of games, but they pushed a console that was maybe a little weak
Yeah.
and made people buy it. Bayonetta 2 is the good argument that I always go with because is a good argument because great game, console seller.
Yeah, and its install base was poor to begin with.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? But then
So-
again, Sega saved them.
See, I argue that there's
Or
just
Sega.
there's
You
a
know.
different way to look at game of the year than was it my favorite game? Because if you want my favorite game, it was probably Super Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. For the Wii
Melee.
U.
Oh, well, good.
Not Melee. But that's what I would. And Far Cry 4 is a legendary game too.
Yeah,
Great
Far Cry
game.
4 is great.
So I could argue any of those are better games
Mhm.
from a specifically a critical standpoint.
Yeah.
But game of the year, it's got to be Destiny. I can't think of any other game that made
Yeah.
such an impact.
I mean, coming up this year, guess what? Fallout's not even out yet. But look, it's probably in the running.
Yeah.
You know why? Because people are even hyped about it. It's like the same thing as being like, Skyrim 2's coming out next year. We don't know shit about it, but it's probably going to be Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Not based on the fact of the Bethesda's history, just on the fact of, look at the buzz that's going around. Look, you already know it's going to be a great seller. You already
Yeah,
know
it's
there's
gonna
going to be a
sell
lot
like
of content. That's what
But
it does.
I don't know. I'm still tossed a game of the year based on Metal Gear Solid, Witcher 3.
Last of Us did sell
We'll
really
see
well,
Fallout.
and it was Game of the Year, was it not?
Game of the Year in
2013.
13.
Yeah, it was Game of the Year.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be.
it
It should be in the
did top
running.
charts.
But would you? I don't know if I would consider remaster in the running. I mean, and again,
No, not the
that's
remaster.
That's why all that is subjective. So I mean, you could disagree with me and say no, it has to be critical game of the year. Well, then okay, some indie game from some guy that nobody's ever
Ubisoft.
played. We've never played the game, but I'm sure he made the best game of the year. Like,
Entangle.
yeah,
This is
you
my
know.
favorite game.
it's just all very subjective. So,
Yeah.
but that's my view on game of the year, how it should be looked at.
It's just at the end of the day, it's like you said, you have a game of the year just in general. Like, hey, this game did really well. People are still talking about it to this day. And then you have, a game I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
A game I had fun playing. Like, I can say right now, my game of the year is probably Metal Gear, regardless of what people say about it's story or how much it goes over their head or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's probably not game of the year. Probably not going to be game of the year. It's probably going to be Fallout. Just because it's Fallout.
I don't think Call of Duty Advanced Warfare would be game of the year, just because people are forgetting about it. They'll play the next one and skip it. Destiny is still that game is still being played to this day.
Which Madden just came out? Was it 16? Just came out? Or 15? Just came out.
16.
It was
16. I think it's
Oh,
the
never
next
mind
year
that.
that always.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm so bad with sports. So
Yeah, Madden is definitely abysmal, but I don't think Madden's ever won a game of the year.
It'll never will.
It never will, because there's too little that changes. The game of the year also implies a level of innovation, doing something different, creative,
Yeah.
something, right? Pushing boundaries of sorts. Minecraft.
If you
would be
wanted
up
to
there.
do it, you could think of. Remember the definition of AAA?
Oh, God.
But if you think about it, what game did all of that the best?
But we're not talking about just sales.
I know
There's-
sales isn't the only.
There's
thing.
lasting impact, other things that come into play. It can't just be one area that, oh, wow, this game sold amazing. So what?
Destiny said
There's a
we
lot
wanna-
of misguided people that buy Call of Duty every
Destiny
year.
said we want to make a game that's going to be like has the draw of World of Warcraft, but the gameplay of Halo.
Okay.
Nothing's ever been done like that before. Let's do it. Let's try it. Success.
Blend it.
They succeeded.
Let's make a more serious Borderlands.
Yeah.
You know?
They succeeded.
And
That's
that's
fantastic.
fine that it sold well, but it's not about sales. Like I said, Adam, sorry, it's not just sales. Sales are great, but it's also cultural, lasting. It affects the industry.
Yeah,
you know how many
innovation.
people were getting upset? No, it's not just players. A lot of people can even agree. Destiny was a good game.
If
Still.
you think I'm biased towards Destiny, you got another thing coming. I did not enjoy that game. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was, but I didn't play it for more than like 7 hours.
yeah,
I couldn't.
No.
different strokes.
But that's what I'm saying is I separate my favorite from what I think the actual game of the year is.
Exactly.
I separate
It's
those.
not. We're not telling you that you shouldn't look at those games as games of the year. Your criteria.
Didn't I list every bit of
You
criteria?
just- okay.
I thought I already listed them.
So sales,
Sales,
there's impact.
impact, innovation, quality. I think it is a quality game.
Yeah,
regardless
it's very
of what some people
polished.
say. It's not perfect by all means, but it it has quality to it, and I think that's pretty much it. I mean,
Yeah,
what
I
more-
mean, we're
there's
not looking at
probably
like
more.
some of these things encompass. Like if you go, oh, what about story? Well, that comes into
That's
the
a weak-
quality.
Yeah, that's a weakness, but
Yeah, but it ties into quality, gameplay. Like
Yeah.
gameplay should always come first, quote unquote. That's the general thing. Shigeru Miyamoto says that a lot. That's why Mario never has a story. Whatever.
I honestly don't think Destiny needs a story.
It's changed how we look at DLC. Like that was one of the biggest things. Remember the big backlash that they got when an actual industry gets affected by fans getting upset about the change in gestures and things like that, and then they actually lower the price. That is changing the industry.
So, how did Destiny innovate the genre industry? They have people playing the exact same game for over a year.
And it's a first-person shooter.
It's a first-person shooter.
That isn't always competitive.
You can say evolutionizing the permanence of DLC in the future of gaming, but if that's what people want, then that's a good thing. And unfortunately, it's not what I want, and that's why I stopped playing. But if that's what people want, and they want to pay for it, then that's the way it's going to go.
And we didn't say it's like an amazing game. It's changing, like it's breaking all these barriers and shit like that. It's doing shit. It doesn't make it good or bad. It's just doing different shit.
If that's what people
MMOs
want,
are grinding games.
At the end.
Play any JMMO. It is a grinding game.
Have you played Lineage? That'll kill you.
Yeah. So when it comes to Destiny and grinding, yes, year one they had some issues with it. By the end of year one, at the end of their DLC for it, they had corrected that a lot.
Okay, Adam, sorry, you said it's what Blizzard's been doing since 2001. That's true. But I could say the same thing. I could compare Mario and Sonic. They're both, at the end of the day, platformers. Why is Mario still around? Why isn't Sonic? There's more to it than just something that simple. There's genre, there's game feel, there's things like that. Like Blizzard, sure, yeah, they've been doing that since 2001, and that's fine. But because it's in a first-person shooter, because it's polished differently, it's a different setting, all this other stuff, people are going to react to it differently. I'm more likely to play Destiny than I am World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Just because.
Brings it to a new audience. So, I had a question for you guys.
What?
Hmm.
Do you guys... Adam, just so you know, Adam, I do love you very much. I had a question for you guys, so it's more of a fun question.
What?
Playing drunk, good or bad?
I just did it last night. I got
So you're for it?
stupid drunk. I think it's... Okay, here's the thing. I think it's good for certain genres or certain game types. I think it works for certain game types. Like when we all get together and we play Rocket League, I'm usually drunk. Right, so but it's not because I need to be drunk
Shows
to hang
his
out with you guys. Fuck you. But it's fun to get drunk and to play because a lot of times it's okay to like let loose a little bit. A lot of people are uptight, you know. Like if we go to your house or something like that, you never not offer alcohol. And what are we there to do? Play video games. Come on, right? They go hand in hand. It's a safe thing. I'm not going out on the road, you know, drinking and driving. Right, we got pizza, some shit.
Oh, God, pizza sounds amazing.
At the house, right? And we got something back at the house. We're chilling. We're hanging out. We're having fun. Some people will be like, oh, because I've heard the counter to this, at least one person's perspective, where it's like playing Soul Calibur 2 on a ladder. Sure, Fionk. You can...
Put it up?
Yeah, load it up. Yeah, party games usually work. But at the same time, I play that shit with Street Fighter, dude. Like competitive. Like people will be like, oh, fuck you, bitch. I'm still putting the hurt on them. You know?
Inebriated and all?
Drunk. Because I'm so used to playing that way.
Yeah.
I'll be playing Metal Gear like that. I'll be playing freaking Bloodborne, which is very reaction-based. Devil May Cry. I beat Nero's Bloody Palace, which is 100 levels, drunk. I did Ladies drunk. And didn't get touched by Dante. Drunk. Come on. Drunk. I play better drunk sometimes. I don't know the science.
Oh, console party games. You're totally right. That's why you need a console.
What?
For party games.
Hey, that's true.
Go Nintendo. And then also Rocket League.
Rocket
It's
League.
freaking so
I mean,
much
it's
fun.
on PC, but
Yeah, but you might as well play it on a console.
you might as well.
Did you know that they actually they put an update out to where PC gamers can avoid console gamers?
Excellent.
It was done in the sense that console gamers were wrecking PC gamers.
On what?
Rocket League.
On Rocket
No,
League.
that's not true.
It was.
Are
yeah.
you sure?
I mean, I
Yes.
don't doubt it.
Because they were complaining that keyboard and mouse was too hard to play Rocket League with.
But you can play with the controller.
Right. But PCs,
They just refuse to do it.
yeah, they would either refuse to do it or they would
Stubborn
say,
asses, man.
or they wouldn't own one because keyboard and mouse dominates every other game. They didn't own a keyboard and mouse.
That is fantastic.
That
So
is-
Rocket League came out with the ability for them to only play against other PC gamers. It was patch 1.05.
That's fantastic. That's hilarious.
It was, yeah. It was
Those
good.
PC gamers are so stubborn. Some PC gamers are shitheads. I'll just throw that out there. There are some really lame ones.
There's shitheads in every
But yeah, there's,
everything.
yeah. I'm not. Being a person that like champions PC gaming, I will admit,
What?
not everybody on PC is a cool guy like
oh,
me.
no.
So
Fuck out of here,
some
dude.
are
You
less
tell
than-
people to use coat anchors and shit. Your League of Legends days.
Hey, after my 5th ban, I stopped.
Gave a straight arrow, man.
So-
Straight edge.
Me playing drunk, I'm terrible when I'm drunk. I'm not very good at games when I'm sober.
Theon, I looked at your tattoo, by the way. I believe it's the owl one. And if that means a lot to you, then there should be nothing wrong with it. I just don't know the relevancy to it. And I'm all about tattoos. He's got all the tattoos. He's never going to get a tattoo. But
I will get a tattoo.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, you said tramp stamp, didn't you?
I want a Pokeball right here, or maybe on the tramp stamp.
Master Ball.
But
Have
I
you
want-
seen the ones where like people have like on their arm they'll have like 6 Pokeballs?
No.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
I've
It
seen
looks
like
gay.
this guy who's like super in love with like DC.
Very happy.
He had on the front. He's a buff guy. He had Superman getting pulled back by I think Bizarro, and then Batman was fighting Joker and Harley below. It's like it's like symbolic. They're like fighting like legit like brawling. Then on the back is like Shazam and like Black Adam or something like that. It's pretty cool. Game of the year, baby.
He's getting Game of the Year and
It's a
1-0
band?
in Smash Brothers.
Oh God.
Is the owl a music thing because their music is a hoot?
Oh.
Oh,
It's Owl of this world. Maybe.
I think mine was better.
It was. You'll get the props, sir. Good job. It was a hoot. It
You
was
guys are
very much-
ridiculous.
We're ridiculous,
So-
but we're
so
in
yeah.
your house
I'm terrible.
every Saturday.
Yeah, every Saturday. 11
You
o'clock.
invite us over.
Yep.
New videos every week.
Yeah, no, I'm terrible drunk.
Oh,
I've
really?
tried playing League of Legends drunk, and I am awful.
I'm sure it's bad,
I'm terrible.
especially because it's a long game.
Yeah, it's like 40 minutes, and you're like 2 minutes, and you're like, oh, this is cool. Like I'm so
Yeah.
drunk, and then they're like, oh, I got a farm. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I think my my happy kind of proof is like 70 proof alcohol, because then I can drink a lot of it. 65, 70. I could drink a lot of it, be fine, and I'll be in my buzzed mode longer.
Yeah.
So I can really enjoy the games, but I also get stupider drunk off of that stuff, because then I'm like, my body's playing catch up, trying to process this shit. And I'm like 6 shots, and then like,
Six shot.
then I'm texting someone, and then that's when it goes bad.
Yeah.
If I could recommend anything to you guys, because this happened to me last night, turn your phone off, keep it out of your reach, put it on airplane mode, something. Warn people, I'm drinking tonight. I might say stupid shit.
Yeah, Adam Sawyer, that's me when I'm drunk.
What?
He says report ADC for trolling 20 CS at 10 minutes. That means you've killed 20 creeps. You
Oh.
should be at like 100 or so. At least. But
Excuse me.
yeah, no.
Drinking for me,
Oh yeah.
but I honestly, when I'm playing
Pretty
a game,
bad, I'm sorry.
I
pretty bad.
don't drink anything. Like I cannot drink beer, and unless you tell me like and stop me, say drink a shot, it never crosses my mind to get
Drink
drunk
that shit.
because I drink to have a good time, and like when there's nothing going on. If I'm bored and there's like no kind of entertainment, I'm usually just like, yeah, I'll drink and make it fun.
Mm.
But if I'm playing a video game, I'm already having fun, and I don't typically. I start playing worse when I drink, so then I hate playing the game
Yeah.
because I'm sucking. So then I don't want to play anymore.
Hey, man. We actually do have plenty of times where we streamed and I've drank.
We
Especially
actually
Rocket League.
last Saturday when you guys weren't here, when you guys were out of town, that night I ended up streaming Rocket League, Just Dance 2015, and
Hate to see that.
another game. You can actually see it in the archives.
We should half shot Bloodborne, because I still need to walk you through it. DLC is right around the corner, man. I need to get you caught up, sir.
Yeah, I do need to get caught up on it.
Just play casual games. Doesn't matter, like Rocket League or Hearthstone. I don't play
Rocket
Hearthstone.
League was not casual.
Get those filthy casuals out of here.
God. No, there's a lot of really good players in Rocket League, and it's really
Did you
hard
see
to stand up.
the new rating system?
No.
There's like a pro level. Like after you win so many matches and do so well,
Yeah.
you hit pro level. They're like there's like a grading system. Like the top 10% get a specific title.
Well, I knew about pros. I mean, I thought we already knew about that.
It's
we're-
like
We're
any
major pros.
the
We
top
are.
10% of Rocket Leaguers get a special title. So if you ever see them, they'll be like Elite
Nerd.
Pro or something like that.
Fucking.
And basically,
off.
I ended up playing against one of them. It is ridiculous. Like they 1v3'd us. Like just it was
I'll take you guys.
the guy just destroyed us.
I'll take you guys.
Yeah. So
I'll take you guys.
And it resets every
I am the
season
knight.
too.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Killer Instinct does that I actually really appreciate. They always reset everyone's ranking, and you have to work your way back up every, I think it's month. There's a casual mode too, Adam Sawyer. and there's the ranked mode. So play what you want. I have never won a ranked match. I feel bad about it. But that's when people are starting to get good, and then you're not always matched up with good teammates, and sometimes you're just not a good player because you're drunk, and sometimes you just got a relationship and you want to cry. And
Yeah, it happens. Not naming names or anything. Some people ignore their friends on chat and don't respond to them.
Fuck out of here, bruh.
And some people
We're not friends. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. Hearthstone is fun. I couldn't get into it that much.
I'm not a card game guy unless it's Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, if we're going Yu-Gi-Oh, if they put that online and do it like in a real way.
They had a demo of it recently on PS4.
What, Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, there's a new Yu-Gi-Oh card game.
Yeah, but if it's like 5XD or whatever they call that shit, no.
I think it's traditional.
We got to get on that.
We're gonna get on that.
If
I'm
my
a
brother's
light
still in
rat.
the chat, he can comment on that because I think he said it sucked.
Oh.
But he plays Hearthstone a lot right now. Like every time I come over to his house, he always has Destiny or some video game up on the PS4, and then he has his PC on the side, and he's in between. He's clicking cards and playing Hearthstone at the same time.
And the guy's like, man, this guy's good.
You should ask the other games and players in the game for relationship advice.
Dude, that's like a surefire way for people to be like, stop talking to that fucker. He's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I did that before.
What if you made them all analogous to the game you're playing, though?
Oh, so I'm okay.
So like,
it's the Yu-Gi-Oh demo apparently.
yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh for
Yu-Gi-Oh.
or something.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, you're playing Rocket League, and you're like, hey guys, when you're trying to push a ball all the way, but it keeps on like getting knocked away from you? Do you think you should keep trying to push the ball into the goal, or should you try to go back on defense and lay low for a while
And just wait for the ball to come to you.
Yeah, there
You're
you go.
a chick asking their all ears, and that's unfortunate. And I've met some girls that play video games, and they're for the most part great people, besides the troll. But
The troll.
they're good people, but they have a different kind of. I notice a lot of female gamers are on Steam.
Yeah, because there's like $1 sale. And
Well,
they
okay.
don't have to be hardcore about it. They just
Well, yeah, sure, there is that, but I want to say it's partly because of like not all those games require voice. If you're playing Rocket League, okay, fine, right? If you're playing Skyrim, no, it's single player. Maybe you're playing, I don't know, just a random shooter or something like that. You don't feel like talking to people. Meanwhile, PlayStation, it's encouraged, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the mic jack right there. You can use any microphone, just plug in and start talking to people. It's so easy for girls to get essentially discriminated against online. And if I was ever dating a girl who played video games, I would never want her to like talk on there. I'd be like, hey, we're staying in private chat or something like that, because people are gonna be like, oh, ASL, fuck that guy, get with me. It's just like, you don't need that shit.
Wait, you think Yu-Gi-Oh's the worst card game? There's pretty bad card games out there.
He's a young dude, isn't he? He doesn't understand.
He grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh.
I loved
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No,
He wouldn't be saying that.
He wouldn't be saying that.
Nah,
He'd be like, it's your
I loved
move.
it. I actually
He
prefer,
can quote it.
I prefer Yu-Gi-Oh to Magic.
Will you donate to buy me games, even to a grill? No.
I prefer Yu-Gi-Oh to Magic.
Pokemon trading card game. He put Pokemon trading card game above Yu-Gi-Oh.
So clearly he's
Maybe
drunk.
it was good. I never got
So
into
clearly he's been around.
He's been around what? The bottle? God. Defend your girlfriend's on whatever
Yeah.
guys tell you once about.
Yeah. No!
It's like, I'm not, yeah, right? No, you can't bone her.
You can't bone her
It's
because
fucking
I'm boning
stupid,
her.
dude. Like, it's so dumb to, like, that it even comes down to this, that people don't even have that level of, like, respect or integrity on their own. But, like, bringing your girlfriend in and it's like, oh, yeah, you fucking bang. It's just like,
What's funny too is that like when you insult a girl online, like
Yeah.
and use the typical like
sup, bitch, or whore,
or like I didn't know they had computers in the kitchen, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When you
You're
say that
getting
kind of
creative.
stuff, I'm not saying it because I say it all the time. I'm not saying it because I'm sexist and I hate women or whatever. I'm saying it because I want to get under your skin.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm saying, I'm saying out of
competitively.
pure hate,
Yeah,
not out of. I'm not picking on your people because that's it.
yeah.
I'm just saying it out of hate.
But when you go,
So
if it's a cooperative game, it's a bit of a different story,
Yeah.
right? If we're all playing like Battlefront, and then a girl hops on, and you're saying the same thing, not really.
yeah.
It's not really helping you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just hurting me, but that's what I do. I do it on League of Legends all the time whenever there's a girl in the chat.
Oh God, you're a bad man.
That's right, Adamasaur.
Yeah, he does hate all people equally.
Equal opportunity hatred.
Yeah, it's great. I have to deal with it every week. No, Exodia, obliterate. Yeah, it's no. There's no. I know why women don't get on like chats all the time, or only around people they trust. There's a clear-cut reason.
Mm.
Though he's just saying it's fucking right. What the fuck?
All right, well, it's a 2:06, so we're past the show limit.
Yeah. Sorry
So-
about the technical difficulties.
Yeah, that was kind of weak, but whatevs.
Whatevs.
We got through it. We fought through it. Like a
Punched and
couple
kicked through it.
People in the world of Destiny fighting through the crowds of aliens.
Exodia.
The crowd of aliens.
Cool. I'm Spencer.
I'm Eric.
And I'm probably going to go get Destiny. Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.